What's up, guys, and welcome to Press A Repeatedly. Justin Tomasello here with Chris Gold,
Hey, everybody.
and it's a very special holiday today. Today is Chris Gold Day.
Yes, it's my self-proclaimed holiday that only I recognize and I celebrate each year.
I wish you spaced it out a bit. I mean, it's only 2 days before Martin Luther King Day.
No, you know what? I feel like it works out because people can have a quote-unquote Martin Luther King party, but it can also be a celebration of me as well. I mean, we're both two great Americans who have contributed so much to not just the nation but the world at large. And I imagine if Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, he would be honored to share a holiday with me.
That's probably
So,
accurate.
so I take great comfort in that knowledge.
Today, as we record this, is in fact your birthday, and I just want to briefly say happy birthday, man. Hope you enjoy it. It's been great being your pal all these years, and wishing you all the best.
Yeah, thank you, man. 31 years of just rotten, miserable existence. No sign of it slowing down. But yeah, you know what? It's been a very fun 31 years. I mean, I honestly have no complaints at this point. Do you want me to impart any wisdom or lessons learned?
I would love to, but I just don't think there's time in the pod for that.
Well, you see, it all started on a summery Tuesday many years ago.
Anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, if we're not going to be talking about my birthday this episode, Justin, what exactly are we going to be talking about?
Well, Chris, it's the return of Video Game Quiz Time Supreme, but with a special twist. And since it's your
Oh?
birthday, would you like to describe how this is going to work?
I would love to. That would be the greatest gift of all.
Oh, good, because I didn't get you anything.
Well, you have a few hours until the end of the day. So it'd be like a crazy holiday special where you run into the store and they're sold out of everything that I want.
Looking for, what is it in Jingle All the Way? Action Man?
Oh, Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
Yeah, it's Turbo Man action figure, and no one has Turbo Man. You're like, do you have a Turbo Man doll? And the guy's like, dude, that was made in like 1995. Nobody makes this anymore. Damn it!
Oh, man.
But anyway, so, Video Game Quiz Time Supreme. This is going to be our third edition of the Supreme. The first edition, Justin quizzed me. The second edition, I quizzed Justin. This time, though, it's going to be an extra special flair. We are going to quiz each other. That's right. It's a Quiz Time Supreme face-off, where I will ask Justin 8 questions, he will ask me 8 questions, and whoever has the most questions right at the end wins the face-off.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to take turns asking each other questions. They're all going to be multiple choice. We're keeping it simple this time. So it's 16 questions, each one with 4 answers. And yeah, we were talking earlier about how fun we had putting these questions together. Some of them are easy, some of them are not so easy, some of those are just plain weird. So stay tuned a little later in the pod when we get into this Video Game Quiz Time Supreme showdown.
Yes, but Justin, why exactly are we having a showdown? What is our motivation for winning? That is, what is the prize at the end of this?
That is right. There is a prize for the winner, of course. Incentive to, answer the questions the best you can. That prize is the ability to flip an indie arcade assignment back on the person that assigned it to you. So basically, if I win this showdown, let's say months down the line, Chris gives me a terrible game to play, I can use my flip card and flip it back and make him have to play that game that he assigned me.
in that event, the following week, I would have to give Justin his game to play the next week, and I would not be allowed to give a revenge game to punish him for using his flip card. Yeah, so it would be a consequence-free flip where I would have egg on my face at the very end of it.
Yeah, so a lot of stakes riding on this game, but I came to play. I'm ready to go, so you're going down, buddy.
I disagree. It's my birthday, which means that you are obligated to lose to me today.
But you seem to forget that I never play by the rules, but for anybody. So why the hell would I do it
that's
for
very
you?
true. You are a badass rebel with a chip on your shoulder and nothing to lose.
A leather jacket and smoking a cigar right now.
Yeah, wearing shades, like leaning up against a Harley Davidson.
I'm drinking tea and not using a coaster.
You son of a bitch! This is a family podcast.
Yeah. But, we do have a lot to get to today. And Chris, I believe we got an email. Emails.
Yes, you're right. We do have an email this week. It's a pretty long email, but it's a good email. And it comes from a friend of the show, Lewis, your cousin.
Yeah, he texted me and said he was working on it, and I didn't read it yet. I'm gonna wait for you to read it now. So I'm gonna kick back and relax, and you just let that sultry voice roll.
All right. It begins, Dear PAR Podcast, call me Ishmael. Yeah. He pretty much has transcribed all of Moby Dick into this email.
That's impressive that he did it, in one evening.
Yeah, who knew? Yeah, he should be an author. All right. Dear PAR Podcast, just like you guys, I am very excited for the games that are coming out this month. Just like the beginning of 2017, where games like Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7, and Nier Automata were released, this year is starting off with a bang. Listening to you guys talk about your most anticipated games this year got me so excited that I made my own top 5 list. This list is actually being made post-Nintendo Event Mini, which we might dive into a little bit as an aside. Number 5, Ni no Kuni 2. As an animator, I have a huge love for the traditional hand-drawn animated movies. When I played the first Ni no Kuni, I was already captivated by the idea of Level 5 creating an RPG with the help from Studio Ghibli, who are most known for works such as Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro, and I was immediately pulled into the story of the game. Ni no Kuni 2 brings those same feelings back, and even more so now that the gameplay looks much better now than the Pokemon clone multitasking frustration the game was. The game is also set 100 years later in the story, so people who haven't played the first one don't need to in order to dive into this new one. I didn't even realize that the sequel to Ni no Kuni was coming out this year.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I knew it was coming out this year, but I didn't think it was the first part of the year. That's pretty exciting.
Yes, it is. Number 4, The World Ends With You Final Mix. So this one was just announced by Nintendo, and I did not see this one coming at all. For those who don't know anything about The World Ends With You, it was a DS title made 10 years ago by Square Enix. You're a kid named Niku who wakes up in the middle of one of Japan's major cities, Shibuya. You are immediately thrust into this game of life or death where you must team up with various people to defeat shadow-like monsters and reapers or be erased from existence. This game has a lot of style, and the gameplay was unique at its time because you would use the stylus on the bottom screen to control one person in battle and use the D-pad in the top screen to control another character. Going back and forth between the two characters with good timing awarded you with bonus damage and special attacks. It's a very stylish game with grunge music and graffiti-style art, as well as an engaging story. Unfortunately, even though it was on high demand, a sequel was never made. Once in a while, you would see a port or see the characters appear in another game Square Enix has made. This Switch version looks like it's a new way to play the game and an extension to the original story. I can't wait to see this gameplay on a new console.
Chris, I remember you played that years ago. I remember you telling me about that.
Yes, I played this game extensively a long time ago. I agree 100% with everything Lewis is saying here, like about how stylish the game is, how much fun it is. You would think the combat system, from what it's being described, where you control one character with a stylus, but another like up top with the D-pad, you think it sounds complicated, but I mean, there is a bit of a learning curve, but the game does a good job of easing you into the mechanics and how everything works out. And yeah, after a while, it just becomes very natural and it just works. Like, The World Ends With You, honestly, was one of the best games to come out for the Nintendo DS.
I always wanted to play it, and I'm really glad. That was probably the most exciting thing I saw out of that direct, was that that's getting a remake and it's coming to the Switch, and they're like basically kind of, you know, formatting it to play well on the Switch, like changing some of the gameplay. Like, that sounds really interesting, so I'm definitely picking that up.
Yeah, same. Man, I can't wait to play this game again. I think you'll love it too. All right, moving on. Number 3, Dragon Ball Fighter Z and Dissidia Final Fantasy. This one was a hard one to decide because both are fighting games that I'm looking forward to. Dissidia was actually announced back during the PS3 era, and I've been waiting patiently for this game since, but the closer the game's release, the less excited I am for it. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, on the other hand, I was less excited about when I first saw it, but gradually found more interest as it got closer to release. While one is an old-school 2D fighter, the other is an interesting 3v3 free-roaming RPG hybrid game. I couldn't bring myself to like one more over the other, so I put them both in the same 3 slot. Needless to say, I will be playing these games on my off time while I'm playing this next one. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week with, I'm really excited for Dragon Ball Fighter Z myself. The more screenshots I see of that game, the more videos I watched. I was actually the other day watching some character breakdowns on YouTube with Lewis, and we saw like different movesets for a lot of different characters, like Vegeta, Captain Ginyu, Nappa, Android 18. And the more I was watching, the more I was seeing the action on the screen, the more excited I had, the more I got this stupid grin on my face. Like, this game just looks like it's going to be a blast to play. I can't speak so much for Dissidia Final Fantasy. I haven't really paid that one too much attention, but I can say that, yeah, Fighter Z looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fighting game fan, but these two both look like they're doing something different for the genre, and they both kind of pique my interest. They're both franchises that I like, so I definitely want to check them out, maybe play them over, your place or something before I decide whether or not I want to pick them up for myself. But yeah, they look really great, and that's a great pick for his list.
Yep, I agree. Number 2, Monster Hunter World. So I was already excited for this game when I first saw it at E3 last year. Then I played the beta recently, and ever since then, I've been completely hooked. I've been watching videos on it, went back to play Monster Hunter 4U, and bought stories for the 3DS. The game looks gorgeous now thanks to the PS4 graphics. Lots of quality of life changes make it so much easier to move seamlessly through zones, collecting items, and finding the monsters. The weapons have all been upgraded, and from how the gameplay looks, they are much more user-friendly for anyone to pick up. I can't wait to play this online with my friends. Hopefully I'll get an invite from you guys to save your butts from a Rathalos.
Lewis, I would love that because I know I'm going to be in a lot of trouble in that game. And yeah, I mean, that's the best part about this game, that everyone's going to have it and we're all going to be able to play together in different combinations. And like, I'm really looking forward to that. Just, I played a bunch of Monster Hunter Tri for the Wii U, or 3 Ultimate, Tri Ultimate. The names confuse me, but that had online multiplayer, and that was the most Monster Hunter I've played, and just being able to play with all my friends on the big screen was an awesome experience for that game. And yeah, I'm super, super excited, and I can't believe this game is only like 2 weeks away.
And finally, number 1, Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes, the game is coming out this year, so shut up, Chris. As an aside, it's my official position that Kingdom Hearts 3 will never be released.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Chris on this one, Lewis, but I hope we're wrong. We'll see.
Yeah, continuing on, I understand that there's a good chance the game will get pushed back to 2019 or even later or even never, Lewis. But based on all the trailers and gameplay I've seen lately, I have a good feeling that it will come out this year. I'm honestly surprised you guys did not have this game on your most anticipated list, because it was a 2018 list, Lewis, and it's never coming out. Kingdom Hearts has always been a must-play for me. The game is truly a unique experience that no one has tried to replicate since the first game. The gameplay is constantly evolving with new features, making each entry in the series different and unique. I can't wait to see the epic conclusion to what Square Enix is calling the Dark Seeker saga. I understand, though, if your faith for Kingdom Hearts has dwindled, but you can always come back to the Church of Disney and confess your sins to our Pope Goofy. Our Pope Goofy?
Gosh, my son, you're in some serious shit.
Hold on. When did Goofy get elected Pope? Who voted for him?
The black smoke came out of the Magical Kingdom castle.
Yeah, Habemos Papum. Gorge.
Me?
I just imagine, like, Goofy is just like, so he's so hardcore Catholic that he eventually rises up the ranks to become Pope. Hey, Goofy, we're gonna go hunting and camping this weekend. Do you want to come with? Oh, sorry, fellas. I gotta take Maxie to his catechism.
Oh boy. Well, aside from that shocking revelation, I'm not sure Lewis remembers that one episode where you and I just spent like 15 minutes tearing Kingdom Hearts to shreds.
Yeah. I mean, not anticipating it all that much, just because, again, it will never be released. And at this point, I feel like this series is just like, it's just so bloated down with plot and characters. Like, I mean, unless you're really devoted to the series, I don't know, like, how you even know, like, what's going on at this point.
Yeah, the thing is, like, this is a very weird idea, the concept of this game, but it actually worked so well. And that first game is one of, like, my favorite games I've ever played. Like, it is a great game with, like, really awesome characters that you grew up with, and, like, to interact with them and play as them. Like, it's awesome. It's a crazy concept that was, like, kind of, you know, it came to life in a really cool and inspirational way. And then, like, I just feel like from there that, you know, they just kind of lost control. But that's, like, what Square's been doing with all their properties now. Final Fantasy went the same way, like, and it's a real shame, because I love those IPs, you know? But, I mean, who knows? I don't want to write off Kingdom Hearts 3 totally, you know? That just seems a bit unfair. And hopefully the game comes out, and hopefully it's really awesome.
I agree with all that. I mean, if, you know, somehow, some way, the game is eventually released, I hope it's great. Yeah, I hope it's a fun time. I hope I'm made to eat my words about it. If the game is good, I'll certainly sit down and give it a shot. Because, I mean, I remember playing the first game too, and I had a lot of fun with it. So, like, I want to recapture a little bit of that magic a little, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting cynical in my old age. As an honorable mention, Lewis says, Final Fantasy VII Remake might start coming out this year. A source told me that closed beta testing has already been underway for the game in the States. It might not be the full game, though. Square Enix mentioned in the past that the game would probably be episodic, so we might only see the first part of it released this year. Wouldn't it be great to have both Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy VII Remake to come out in the same year? Thank you guys for taking the time to read my very long rant. I needed to get it out of my system. Can't wait to hear you guys on the next podcast. Your pal, Lewis.
Lewis, I gotta say, that was a fantastic top 5 most anticipated list, and I really appreciated how he really went in depth about all the games and really explained himself well as to why he's looking forward to them. That was an enjoyable read.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, really, really great email. Great top five. I know you and I kind of tore into his number one a little there, but you know what? It's still a. I mean, it counts. It's projected for 2018.
Lewis, if Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Final Fantasy 7 remake both come out in 2018, I will eat my Mario hat that I have in my room here.
It's on the record now, folks. If it happens, then yeah, Justin will eat his prized Mario hat.
Um,
I'll hold him to it.
yeah, but Ni no Kuni's a really good one. I didn't play the first one, but I just love the art style of that game, and I've
Hmm.
also heard that the second one is making a lot of changes to make it a little bit more of a more enjoyable experience. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to that one as well, and of course Monster Hunter,
Right.
and it's a great list. He really did a great job with that email.
Yeah, I agree. From what I understand, the first Nino Kuni, I never played it either, but I guess the appeal of playing in a world that's animated by Studio Ghibli, uh, that novelty wears off fairly quickly when you actually start playing the game itself. So I imagine that Nino Kuni 2 will offer improvements in gameplay, maybe in the story, because I mean, it certainly doesn't need any improvements in the aesthetic department because I mean the animes from Studio Ghibli are just classics. I mean they're amazing,
Yep.
just visually alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Lewis, and yeah, great email, Lewis. Thank you for writing in. If anyone else would like to write into the show, you can email us at parpodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks, Lou.
All right, so that was uh, that was a long email segment. What do you say we jump right into what are you playing?
What are you playing? Yes, well, it's been quite a busy week for both of us. I'm actually in the process of moving, so I'm doing a lot of packing up this week with any of the free time that I had. Got kind of boxes and stuff everywhere. Still got a bit to go, but I'm working my way through it. And unfortunately, that didn't leave a lot of time to play games this week. I did play some more SteamWorld Dig 2 when I was taking breaks between wrapping up boxes. And I had remembered that because I still haven't beaten it yet, but I was I got lost. Like I didn't know where I was supposed to go, and uh, it kind of showed me a flaw in the game where there's no real quest quest list in the options of the game in the UI. You know, it just kind of says in the bottom corner of the screen, explore Vectron, and Vectron is the name of like the entire world that you're in. So like, I didn't know what I was supposed to do to advance the story because I had been exploring. I moved. There's like different mines in different areas of the game that you can go to, and I was going back and like retracing my steps and going through some of the older caves to try and 100% them. I was trying to get all the artifacts that are hidden in there, and when I was done doing that, I was like, all right, I'm ready to advance the story again. And like, yeah, I was just totally lost. I was going to different towns, talking to different people, like just trying to figure out where I was supposed to go next. And like, I just couldn't figure it out. And then eventually, I just was again just exploring different random areas, and I saw a lever in one of the temples that I didn't press yet,
Mm-hmm.
and then I pressed it, and then it like the camera kind of panned to like where the door that would open because of that lever, and it was one of those ones where like you have to push three separate levers to like unlock the door, and that was only the first of three levers that I had pushed. So now I had to go and explore and find two more.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, I remember I remember this segment.
yeah, yeah, it wasn't really very clear like of where you were supposed to go because you already hit the bottom of that mine area of that temple before you even press those levers, and it was when you get so you get that like fiery pickaxe thing, and then you have to kind of go back and do a lot of backtracking because now you have the ability to move those giant stone golems
Right.
by lighting them on fire, and like that makes them move for whatever reason. Um,
But listen,
and
if I lit you on fire, you'd be moving too.
yeah, I guess that's a good point. Touche. But yeah, once they move, they unlock new areas that I haven't gotten to yet. So, you know, after a lot of exploring, I figured out where I was supposed to go, and then I got that led me to the extended hookshot, which
Mm.
in turn let me reach another place that I couldn't get to yet, and now I think I'm back on track. I'm about like 9 hours in, and I still feel like I have a little bit more to go. Do you remember how many hours you put into that game when you beat it?
Hmm. I think like it was a. I mean, it wasn't too much longer than where you are right now, because you said you're in Vectron now, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you really aren't too far away. I think you've got another hour or a couple hours or so to go in the game. So like you're not right there, but you're definitely closer to the end of the game than you are the beginning.
yeah. No, that's cool. Um, I'm also at the point where like I I've mined like 90% of the ore, so like it's kind of hard to get money now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I mean, I try to mine for the ore and the jewels whenever I can get to them. Uh, for me, I kind of now that I think about it, one problem that I had with SteamWorld Dig 2 is the way the game is set up. I mean, you dig, right? I mean, you dig down and you find these certain little caverns. They're just kind of big empty spaces where you drop down, there's some enemies or wherever, and you have to keep digging down through that. There are a lot of times where like I'll be digging, and the way the game works, you go down, you dig, your lantern starts getting low, so you go back to the surface and you refill it, you sell your gems to uh old man lobster bot, and then you go back into the mine and you keep going. I use the little transport tube to get you back to and from very quickly. There were a lot of points where I was exploring. There were none of those tubes to transport you quickly. I dropped down. I had no light. I had no water. And there was absolutely no way for me to get back up to the ceiling that I dropped down from to try to get to one of those transport tubes above me. So like I would be
Hmm.
completely stuck. So then at that point I was like, all right, I'm low on health. I've got no light. My only option is just to keep digging blindly and hope that I live. Otherwise, I have to intentionally die because that will put me back in the town. But I don't want to have.
Did you not unlock the portal of pardon?
Oh, the one to take you back to the town immediately?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did unlock that. I mean, not until later in the game, though. I,
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah, I'm
okay.
talking like just as you're playing the game normally, before you even get that portal pardon. Yeah, once you get that, it's fine and it completely alleviates the issue. But before then, and that's a good chunk of the game, you're just kind of left scrambling in the dark and hoping you'll find one of those transport tubes or don't die or something. It's very frustrating to have
Yeah.
to dig blindly like that.
But I'm still really enjoying this game. Like, I'm totally gonna beat it. Like, it's just got such a nice, relaxing like atmosphere to it. And again, like we talked about last week, the story's actually really good, and I'm like getting closer and closer to figuring out what happened to Rusty. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's totally gonna wrap that up soon.
Nice.
Aside from that, the only other game I've played was my indie arcade game this week. So, Chris, what about you? What are you playing?
Uh, Unfortunately, this was also a pretty busy week for me as well. Didn't really have too much of a chance to get everything done. I did manage to squeeze in an hour or two of Life is Strange before the storm, though.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So after being publicly shamed last week for not having completed the game, I decided to just, you know what, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna grind through it. I'm gonna just play Life is Strange. You know, I'm gonna, as I said a lot last week, I'm going to get off my dead ass. So I started playing episode 2, and yeah, it's I mean, right now I don't want to give too much away, but I just met up with Frank, and he wants me to go to Blackwell to do a job for him. So I'm right at that point in episode 2.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know how far into episode 2 that is. I don't know if it's like around the halfway point or maybe a little bit farther.
I would say it's around halfway.
Okay. Yeah, it's doing a lot to progress. I wouldn't. Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't say like the story isn't progressing too much, but the characters definitely are progressing themselves. Like I feel like there's been a lot of development. A lot's been happening. I mean, everyone's still dealing with the fallout from what happened at the end of episode 1. And it's just really impressive to me. It's just always impressive how Deck 9 was able to take this story and these characters and just make it their own, but also make it feel like, yeah, this fits into the Life is Strange universe. Like, this absolutely belongs in the canon, even though...
Yeah, they really nailed it.
Yeah, they really did knock it out of the park. And it's funny, too. Like, I mean, I think about when I'm playing the game. I mean, a lot happens at the beginning of episode 2. And, I mean, there's a lot of points where Chloe has to react, or you're given one of those options where it's like, oh, you need to choose either A or B, and it's like a one of those types of decisions where it affects the whole rest of the story. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, how interesting it is, like, when I'm presented with these choices, and I think we talked about it before with Life is Strange, I have the option to, like, I have one option that I want to do, like me personally, but then there's the option that I think, what would Chloe do? And what would make most sense for Chloe to do in this situation? So,
right, as you're role-playing as her.
Yeah, so like I base all my decisions as if I were this angsty teen who has kind of fallen into a bad crowd and a bad scene. And what would be the choices that she would make. And it's just interesting that, like, the writing of this series and of the characters could be so strong that they would influence how I play the game. I mean, like, I can make Chloe do whatever I want in the game. I mean, she's my character to control in there. She can do anything. But I still feel this compulsion to do what makes sense for her, what's right for her. And it's just really interesting how the game kind of steers you in that direction with just the strength of its writing and character development.
I was just going to say, I think that is a testament to how great the character development is in that game, that you care about them so much that you get totally invested in them and you want to make the right choice. You want to make choices that they would approve of, like they would be proud of you for picking that choice. And I think that's a hard thing to replicate, and yeah, Deck 9 just did an excellent job.
Yep, I agree. So yeah, I still have to beat episode 2, then progress to episode 3, and then, yeah. Now, I did confirm, though, when I loaded up the game, I have the deluxe edition of the game. So,
oh, sweet.
Yeah, so not only will I be able to play the bonus episode when that comes out, but I get all sorts of cool bonus outfits that Chloe can change into as she's playing the game. Right now, I'm rocking the Hot Dog Man t-shirt, where I just had this like goofy hot dog man on a plain white t-shirt, and she's like wearing a jacket over top of it, and it's just so funny because it's such a cartoony looking goofy hot dog, and especially during the more serious moments of the show and like the different things that happen, it's like, man, this is what you chose to wear, Chloe.
I have to look this up.
Yeah, it's Hot Dog Man, so it's like HAWTDAWG.
Oh wow, someone is actually selling that shirt, like, for real.
Oh my god, really? Like, well, are they affiliated with Deck Nine or Life is Strange? I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't want some. I don't want to knock off. Still, that's awesome though. Let's see, and
It says Chloe Price, Hot Dog Man, Life is Strange, Before the Strom, Chloe Price.
before the Strom. Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been able to play this week. Yeah, wish it was a little bit more, but yeah, hopefully next week will be a little bit lighter.
Hey, it happens. You know, we got other stuff that come up sometimes, and you know, you just can't get to as much gaming as you'd like.
Yep, very true. But yeah, I know some gaming that you got into this week, Justin. You alluded to it earlier. So why don't we hop right into the Indie Arcade?
Indie Arcade.
As you may remember, last week I gave Justin the game Guns, Gore, and Cannoli as his Indie Arcade title. Justin, take it away.
All right, Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. I wound up going with the Switch version of this game. It is basically a 2D side-scroller shoot 'em up, which can be played for up to 4 players. Which, you know, I didn't get to try multiplayer yet, but I would really like to, because I think it would be a different experience. Overall, I was surprised with this game. First of all, the animation is very well done. It's a 2D hand-drawn animated game. I don't know if that means... I think it means it was done in like a program like Flash or something, because it kind of has that like Newgrounds feel, you know, from back when we were in high school, like how all those videos were really popular.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but like a little bit more fluent and maybe more frames per second. And just like, you know, even the cutscenes when they're talking, like the mouth syncing is really well done, and like they move. I was like paying attention to the way they move their arms while they talk, because in Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, you're like a classic Italian gangster, you know, like Godfather-esque style. So, you know, they have these very heavy, like cartoonish, like gangster accents, which are over the top, but they work for what they're going for. Because essentially, you know, you're watching a cartoon here. It's got to be over exaggerated.
Right.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of that. So if you tire of that pretty easily, I would say stay away.
I can't imagine ever getting tired of that.
I gotta say the voice acting is really great, but you know how it's believed that a lot of Italians, when they talk, they move their hands a lot. You know, it's I don't want to say stereotype, but like
it's a stereotype, and I've grown up around Italians my entire life. I've got Italians in my family. It's very true.
I am Italian, and I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, see.
But so I'm watching these cutscenes of like some of the main characters talking, and I'm watching like their hands move, and I'm thinking, oh, they're probably gonna just like recycle the same like hand gestures over and over. And I was like really studying them, and they were all different, and like they kind of went with what they were saying. Like for example, if one guy said like you better get the hell out of here, he like put his hand in like a thumbs up position and like threw it over his shoulder, like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like really impressive, all that kind of stuff. But I feel like I'm rambling a bit just about that.
No,
Uh,
that's an impressive level of detail. Especially, I mean,
yeah,
like it's not easy to animate all of those different little hand gestures and motions and all that.
nuances. Yeah,
Yeah, the subtle little nuances. No, that's absolutely worth pointing out because I mean, you notice that stuff and it's like, ah, yeah, he is Italian.
yeah. um, so it's very cartoon-esque. It's got a lot of humor to it. It's a little bit silly. Um, how the game works is basically you're progressing through these levels, and zombies just come running at you from both sides, like from the right or from the left. And as you progress through the level, you pick up different weapons. You have like a 9mm pistol that has infinite ammo as like your base gun. And then when I was playing, I got like a 2 round rifle. I got a shotgun. I got the 357 Magnum, which is awesome, and a shotgun. And all the guns work like how you think they would. Like the shotgun is great for close up, and it'll take out a lot of guys. But range wise, it sucks. The Magnum is super powerful. If you shoot straight ahead, it will like blow through a zombie and then hit the one behind it because it's such a powerful weapon. Um, there's a submachine gun that I got too, which is great. Like it's weak, but you can fire a lot of rounds. So you kind of cycle through these things and use them the best way that you see fit. You also have grenades and Molotov cocktails to throw for explosive damage, and the shooting feels pretty good actually. So if you shoot him in the head, obviously it's like a headshot. It kills him faster. You can shoot while ducking too, so because some of the zombies are crawling on the ground, so you can hit him in the head that way. And the controls are simple, just basically move, jump, and shoot. The environments are kind of cool. Like I started out on like this. You're coming into the town of Thug Town. I forget what it's called. You're on a cruise ship that gets like attacked by like the zombies. So you start off on the ship, and then like at the end of that level, you're getting off the ship and you're in the town. You start meeting some of the townsfolk. You save some people. The story of the game is basically it ties in with prohibition, and the idea is that like the mob released this alcohol for everyone, but the alcohol was like tainted and started turning everybody into zombies.
That
It's
makes
kind of a
sense.
cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't like decide if I really like this game or not because it's also pretty tough. The swarms kind of get on you really quickly, and the hit detection feels weird. Where it's like one of those things where if an enemy just kind of runs up and brushes up against you, you start taking damage, even though they're not swinging at you or anything. Just the fact that they're like touching you, So that can be really frustrating. And when you take damage, you get a little bit immobilized. Like Vinny Cannoli will like be like, oh, and like like fidget back a little bit, and like it kind of interrupts your flow. And sometimes you just get so overwhelmed, and they start running in from the left and right, and it's kind of hard to like avoid them. Like if you hop over them, they turn immediately back to your direction, and like it's kind of tough to get away from them. You have a kick move that you can use to like kind of kick them out of the way, but sometimes that'll hit one of them, but not the one directly behind him. So like the one behind him will still attack you. So like that doesn't feel quite right.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a weird blend of like, oh, at parts I was enjoying it, and then at parts I was getting really frustrated. And I think it was difficult because I think the game is meant to be played multiplayer. So I would like to try it again with some other people and to see if it's a better experience. But for the most part, I was enjoying it more than I thought I was going to. Aesthetically, it's great. It's funny. The music's not great. It's a little campy and stupid, but the cutscenes are great. Um, they're a little like the resolution of the cutscenes is really bad for some reason, like very
Really?
grainy.
Mm.
Yeah, and like the actual gameplay looks great. Like it was like they, you know, did high definition of the game, but not the cutscenes. Felt kind
That's
of weird.
yeah, that's really bizarre. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah. Um, but it's fun. I think you have to play it for yourself to see whether or not you like it. Because I can totally see people liking it, and I can totally see people like being put off by it. It depends on how much patience you have, and you know, just if you like the shooting mechanics of the game. There's one zombie that's I kept calling him Charging Chuck, which is that football playing Koopa from Super Mario Bros.
Right.
Because he's just like a zombie in like an old like 1940s football uniform, and he just bends over and just starts running at you, and of course he's like a sponge and takes all these bullets. Like you would shoot him with a shotgun and it wouldn't even stop him. He would still come running at you and like smash into you, and like that'd be really frustrating.
Uh, yeah, that sounds like it'd be frustrating. I don't know. Like I guess I'm a little disappointed. Like I thought the game would be like it would sound a little more fun than what you're making it sound like it is.
I
So
really think that if you and I were playing together, it would be like an 8 out of 10. But like solo experience, I would probably give it like around like a 6 out of 10.
hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think it's built for multiplayer.
That makes sense. Well, at some point, you and I get together. We'll give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a few games, indie arcade games that we should be playing together.
Yes, yes, we do. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Indie Arcade this week.
Not
What?
so fast, Chris. It is your birthday, so I have to give you a birthday gift of an indie arcade game to play.
Oh, okay.
And don't worry, I would feel very cruel giving you a terrible game on your own birthday. So,
Dodge that bullet.
I'm only going to give you a game that might be a terrible game.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I really don't know anything about this game. I just saw a screenshot, and I kind of like the art style, and I said, all right, I'm going with this one. And that game is called Pan Pan, A Little Big Adventure on the Nintendo Switch eShop.
Pan Pan?
Pan Pan is an open plane adventure that expands on the concept of environmental narrative storytelling with puzzle solving and exploration elements at its core.
Ooh, I like the art style.
Yeah, it's got this cool, very like a minimalist color palette kind of art style.
Hmm.
It's circle shapey as we defined, like with
Yes,
lovers in dangerous space time.
yeah, it's the same circle shapey aesthetic from Lovers.
Yeah, but it looks like you explore these areas and you have to rebuild your spaceship. Right, like that's kind of like your purpose. And you go through these areas and you complete these puzzles and kind of like get the materials you need and
Hmm.
kind of just really just explore this nicely laid
Yeah,
out environment.
it's kind of got like this isometric perspective to everything. I like
Yeah.
it. It looks yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a lot of unlocks and secret puzzles and stuff. So I think this might be up your alley.
I think so too. Especially like whenever I play a game like this, I always try to like run around and find every little nook and cranny, see if there's any secrets hiding anywhere. So something like this would probably keep me entertained for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I
Totally.
actually sat down and committed to it. But yeah, no, this looks really great. I can't wait to pick it up.
Sounds great. All right. What do you say we take a quick break, and when we come back, it's time for the video game Quiz Time Supreme Showdown.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. It is time for me to thrash my co-host embarrassingly on his birthday in our first ever Video Game Quiz Time Supreme Showdown.
Justin, you wish you could thrash anything. I'm going to mop the floor with your thick, froey head. I'm going to just dunk it in a bucket and just wipe the floor with it.
Well, that probably would work very well because my hair would probably
Your hair is
clean
very
it.
curly and very absorbent.
Very absorbent, yeah. So I would be happy to help out a friend, okay? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, we'll see. At the end of this, if after I win, if I'm feeling merciful, I might allow you the honor of cleaning my floors with your head.
What a pal.
All right. So
since it's your birthday, I will let you choose. Do you want to ask first or receive first?
I will receive first. So you ask, and then I'll ask.
All right. Then here comes the kickoff.
All right. Let the face-off begin.
Here we go. Question 1. What is the name of Crash Bandicoot's younger sister? Is it A. Candy, B. Coco, C. Carla, or D. Katie?
Candy, Coco, Carla, or Katie? See, this is great because I've really never played the Crash Bandicoot games, so I have absolutely no idea. So let's see. His name is Crash. I'm going to go with C.
Carla?
Carla.
Carla is incorrect. The correct answer is Coco. And I made this a question because when the Crash Bandicoot remaster just came out earlier this year, there was like a pretty big news story that you could play as Coco in all the games because she was only originally in, I think, Crash Bandicoot 3, but they kind of added her to all of the mainline games, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. All right, fine. You got away with one there. But it's not happening again.
I know, and now it's your turn to put me in a tough spot.
All right. Question 1. Which of the following robot masters is not an actual robot master found in the Mega Man franchise?
Oh god, this is going to be hard because there are some weird-ass ones.
A. Commando Man, B. Laser Man, C. Napalm Man, D. Tomahawk Man. Which of those 4 is not an actual robot master?
I'm torn between Napalm Man and Laser Man. I think I want to go Napalm Man. C.
So C's your final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Really?
Yep, you had a 50-50 shot and you blew it.
It was Laser Man?
Laser Man, yep.
God, I knew that was my first guess. Oh, damn it.
Yep. Shouldn't have second-guessed yourself. Alright, we're both doing great right out of the gate.
Yeah, we didn't discuss what happens if we get a tie, especially if we don't get any single question right.
That's not going to happen. I assure you that's not going to happen.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Alright. Question 2. Which of these is not an Xbox launch game? That is the original Xbox.
Okay.
A. Halo Combat Evolved, B. Project Gotham Racing, C. Dead or Alive 3, D. Fable.
I'm gonna go... I seem to remember Fable coming out a little bit later in that generation. I think I'm gonna go with Fable, D.
Final answer?
Yes.
You're correct.
Yes!
Fable came out, I believe, 2004. And these Xbox games launched in 2001? You know what? I think I have the dates wrong.
Yeah, it was like 2000, 2001, somewhere in that range.
2002, maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew Halo was definitely a launch title.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
possibly
Fable,
one of the greatest launch titles
ever.
Ever.
ever. Yeah. Yeah, but all right. One question down. Nice. Good job, Chris. Good job.
Yes, good job, Chris.
All right. Your question 2. Zone of the Enders and Metal Gear Solid were both created by which legendary game developer? A. Michel Ancel, B. David Jaffe, C. Hideo Kojima, or D. Gunpei Yokoi?
This is totally an easy one.
Yes, it is.
The answer is obviously C. Hideo Kojima. And I will do some more research and say Michel is the creator of Rayman.
Yes.
Gunpei Yokoi is the producer of Metroid.
Right, he made, he created Metroid. He also was responsible for the Game Boy. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, he was very influential to Nintendo.
And what was B?
David Jaffe. He created Twisted Metal and the God of War franchises.
Oh, got you. Do I get extra credit?
No, you don't.
Fair enough.
But you get the satisfaction of knowing a lot about these legendary developers.
Yeah, I guess that's cool.
It's very cool. Just take it.
All right, so we are now tied once again, right?
Yeah, tied 1-1.
All right. Chris, let me ask you this.
Yes. Ask.
How many AA batteries did it take to power the Sega Game Gear? Is it A, 2, B, 4, C, 6, or D, 8?
Oh, man. I should know this because I had a Game Gear when I was younger. The problem
you used to play Triple Trouble all the time.
Yeah, Triple Trouble, Double Trouble, and then the original game, Sonic the Hedgehog Trouble. But, see, the thing is, the game ate up so many batteries that I literally just, my gameplay was just to plug it into an AC adapter in the wall and just, I would literally sit by the wall or in a chair near an outlet and just play the Game Gear from there. Anyway, brought me hours of entertainment, whereas if I played with batteries, it would bring me minutes of entertainment. That thing chewed through batteries like nothing. Like a fat man with cake. I think the answer is 4, and that's 4 batteries, which is option B. Yeah.
You made that sound so confusing, but yes, B4 is your final answer?
Yes.
Chris, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C6. 6 AA batteries were required to power the Sega Game Gear, and that only gave you 3 to 5 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, like I said, that thing drained batteries like crazy. 6 batteries, wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me too.
Yeah, nothing takes 6 batteries nowadays. Usually it's like 2 batteries or 4 batteries.
Yeah. 6,
my god. Wow. Alright, so I'm at 1 and 2 now.
Yes.
Alright. I'm sorry I'm a little sorry now. I was a bit lenient on these questions in putting my quiz together.
Hey, there's still plenty more to go.
Yeah,
I could have sworn you were going to get that one because I remember how much you played Game Gear, but I didn't think about you having it plugged into the wall.
yeah. I never actually had to put in batteries in the thing because I never took it anywhere.
Because your family couldn't afford all the batteries.
No, we had to sell. Like I had a younger brother, Johnny, but he had to be sold to science to help fund the batteries that I needed to play my Game Gear. I mean, I hope he's okay at this point. I'd love to reconcile with him at some point. But
I think that ship has sailed, dude.
I think so too. You know what? We'll just let bygones be bygones.
All right.
All right. Question 3. In our last episode, when we were ranking the girls from Doki Doki Literature Club, which option ranked just above Natsuki on my list? A. Falling off a cliff. B. Getting shot by hunters. C. Hunters and coyotes get hit by a bus. Or D. Yuri.
I believe it was the the hunters and wolves get hit by a bus. So C, final answer.
So wait, you're saying the hunters and coyotes get hit by a
Yes.
bus?
Hunters
Okay.
and coyotes hit by a bus.
Option C. Yes, you're correct. Yeah, as we recall from last episode, neither of us are really that big a fan of Natsuki. I mean, a good chunk of it, like, if you get into the game a bit, it's not too much her fault. Like, her dad apparently is very abusive, and there's all sorts of stuff going on behind the scenes. But still, like, she's very abrasive and rough with the player, and that's very hard to get past.
Right.
All right, what's your question 4?
Okay, next question from me.
Yes.
Bethesda Softworks was founded in A. 1993, B. 2001, C. 1997, or D. 1986.
Oh man, it definitely wasn't the one in, what was it, 2001?
Yes,
No,
B. 2001. Yeah.
Definitely not that one. Man, I don't know. 1986 sounds like it was too soon. Well, too late, too early. I mean,
There you go.
yeah, I think it was one of the ones in the 90s. Oh man, this is hard. This is so hard. I'm gonna say 1993.
A. 1993 as your final answer?
Yes, that's my final answer.
That is incorrect.
Oh!
The correct answer, shockingly, is D. 1986.
What?
I could not believe it either.
What are they doing? What were they doing with all that time? Just waiting around, like, someday they're gonna invent a thing called Fallout. And then we're gonna get the license.
They were a division of another software company, I believe. But it was in fact called Bethesda. In fact, the creator just wanted to call it Softworks, but that name was already taken. So he was living in Bethesda at the time and was just like, I'll just call it Bethesda Softworks, and like that's how they got the name.
That works. Well, I mean, yeah, go with what works, I guess. Oh man, yeah, I'm doing bad, Justin. I'm doing bad.
That was a tough one, but I think the rest are not as tough.
All right, for your sake, they better not be. All right, question 4. Which of these classic enemies does not make any sort of appearance in Super Mario Odyssey? A. Boo, B. Piranha Plant, C. Blooper, or D. Goomba?
So,
No.
Blooper and Goomba are obviously in it because you can control them. I definitely did not see a Boo, and I don't think I saw a Piranha Plant. So now I'm confused. Okay, give me a second to think here.
Okay.
No, I think it's Boo. I am going all in on A, Boo.
God damn, you're right. It's A, Boo.
And it's funny. I remember saying, I don't know if it was to you, but I was disappointed that there wasn't like a haunted world,
Right, like
a
a
ghost
haunted
house
mansion.
world.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. Well, we'll see what happens. In the latest Nintendo Mini Direct, I know a lot of people were complaining that Luigi wasn't in the game at all, but now
Yes,
he
me
is in the
being
game.
one of them.
Yes, but now he is going to be in the game, at least in some capacity, with this
As some
balloon
weirdo
mission.
who sells balloons.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with selling balloons. It's a perfectly normal way to lure children.
Yeah. If that was Waluigi doing it, that would be his purpose.
Yeah, that sounds like something more Waluigi would do. I gotta say, like, I'm a little surprised in that question that you so easily accepted blooper because bloopers do not actually appear in the game. I thought that was going to be. I thought you were going to think about was it boo or blooper.
Oh, you're right. I totally mixed up Blooper and Cheap Sheep in my head for like an idiot.
Yeah, but no, it worked out in your favor. Like, your idiocy saved you in
Wait,
this instance.
So bloopers are in the game?
Blue. See, the question is, which of these classic enemies does not make any sort of appearance in Super Mario Odyssey? And in the end of the game, I won't say exactly where for spoiler reasons, there is a picture hanging on the wall of a blooper. So it does appear in the game in some capacity. It's not an actual enemy, it's not an actual character. But
I see.
yeah, boos do not appear at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, not there's no pictures of them, no, they don't appear physically, nothing. No boos.
Alrighty. Interesting.
But yeah, you got it right. So good job. Great, good for you. Wonderful, fantastic. I'm so freaking happy for you.
Okay, score recap. 3 out of 4 correct for me. 1 out of 4 correct for Chris.
Yeah.
However, we're only at the halfway point. Things can change.
Yes, they can. Alright.
Alright, Chris, your next question.
Yes. Lay it on me.
Sony's PlayStation 4 designers worked closely with this software developer for input on the controller and how to make it better for shooting games. A. Bungie. B. Treyarch. C. id Software. Or D. Ubisoft.
I'm torn between Treyarch or id. I think it's one of those two, either Treyarch or id. And they said they wanted to make the controller better for shooters.
Yes.
I imagine they would want a consultation from the company that sells one of the best-selling franchises in gaming history, because they want their controller to feel right for people to play that best-selling franchise, which, of course, is Call of Duty, which is developed by Treyarch. So I'm going to go with Treyarch.
That is good deduction for the wrong answer. The correct answer is Bungie.
Oh, those pricks.
Think about Destiny coming out right around the time the PlayStation 4 came out.
Yeah, that's true. That was around 2010, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Has the PS4 really been out that long?
It's been around. It's been out. What was it? A year after? No, 2013 was when the PS4 came out. So that's right. So Destiny 1 was actually on the tail end of PS3, but they were working on the PS4 during those years of the end of the PS3.
Gotcha. Man, can't believe this. I'm going down in flames, Justin.
You're making good guesses. Maybe these questions were a little too obtuse.
Maybe they're a little too over your head. maybe I should have dumbed these down for you a little bit. I'm sorry.
Not what I meant, but okay.
I'm just teasing. All right. Question 5 for you, Justin.
Yes.
What is the name of the band Chloe sneaks in to see in the very beginning of Life is Strange Before the Storm?
Oof.
A. Ashes to Dust. B. Rock Band. C. Flame On. Or D. Firewalk.
Rock Band. Oh my god, that's great.
Oh man, I can't wait to see Rock Band.
You guys here to see Rock Band?
I got their latest hit. Rock song. We are singing a rock song. These guys are great. These guys are great.
It was definitely flame related, so Ashes, was it Ashes to Dust?
Yes. Ashes to Dust, Rock Band, Flame On, or Firewalk.
I'm guessing Rock Band is the one that you added later.
Yeah, that was a last second addition when I realized behind the scenes a little. I thought these were supposed to be three part multiple choice, like A, B, or C. And I didn't realize until we were recording this episode that Justin said, oh, there's going to be 4 options. So I real quick added more options to my questions, and I couldn't think of a good fake band name in time. So that's how we have Rock Band.
I'm pretty confident that it is D, Firewalk.
Well, I am pretty confident that you're right.
Woo!
Man, you are mopping the floor with me. You're dunking my head in that bucket of water. Oh.
Well, let's see.
I don't think there's any chance I can win at this point.
We can still tie. If you get the next 3 right and I get the next 3 wrong, we could tie.
That is so unlikely. That's so unlikely.
Alright, well, whether or not you get this next question right, this is probably the funnest question of the day, so I hope you're ready for it.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Which of these weird video game titles is not real?
Okay, go ahead.
A. Kokoma Night in Busyland. B. Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. C. ZHP, Unlosing Ranger versus Dark Death Evil Man. And D. Harvey Cross, Weasel Boy.
What? What are any of those?
3 of these are real games. 1 of them is fake.
That's absurd. Oh my god. Alright. Man. Okay, can you please read the names back to me?
With pleasure. A. Kokoma Night in Busyland. B. Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. C. ZHP, Unlosing Ranger versus Dark Death Evil Man. And D. Harvey Cross, Weasel Boy.
You know, I'm gonna say, because it's probably the least weird sounding, Harvey Cross, Weasel Boy. And I'm just going with that one.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Correct!
Yes!
I can't believe you got
As all the other ones sounded so absurd and so ridiculous. Like, my initial reaction would be, there's no way they can be real. But then, they have to be real. Like, Like they must exist. What the hell is ZHP? Forgotten Ranger versus
ZHP Unlosing Ranger versus Dark Death Evil Man.
Dark Death Evil Man. That's worse than Rock Band for a fake rock band name. Dark Death Evil
God.
Man. Wow. Trying hard, buddy. You couldn't think of any better. Oh, was Evil Scary Man taken? Dark Death
man.
Evil Man. My goodness. All right. Justin. Question 6.
Okay.
In Stardew Valley, which of these crops cannot be grown in multiple seasons? A. Grape. B. Corn. C. Strawberry. Or D. Wheat.
So this means that it can only be grown in one season, right?
Correct.
I think wheat can be pretty much year-round except for winter. Corn I know is spring and or summer and fall. Grape I think is fall and winter. I think strawberries can only be grown in the summer, and I'm gonna go with C, strawberries.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right. You are correct.
Yes.
And fun fact. Let me see. That strawberry was the last second oh crap answer that I threw in there real quick. I just literally thought of it at the top of my head. But then I realized as I was reading the question, you may have noticed I stuttered a little at C because I realized strawberry is also a correct answer. Like, that can only be grown in one season. So I was like, oh crap. Originally, the correct answer to this was grape, because that can only be grown in the fall. But you can forage for it and find it, I think, during the summer. Yeah, so you can forage for it in the summer, or you can grow it in the fall. So, yeah, so by me adding in strawberry, I shifted the correct answer to strawberry.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, so it wasn't the original correct answer that I had, but it is more correct than the correct answer that I originally had. So, yes, you got that one right.
Oh, phew. Okay.
Man, you were... Have you... No, you only got the first one wrong.
So,
Yeah.
right now, I am 5 out of 6. You are 2 out of 6.
Yep. Yeah, at this point, I don't think there's any way for me to win this. So, yeah, you've officially won the Supreme Face-Off.
Woo! Yes.
But in the interest of completion, let's finish our questions.
Of course. This is an honorable, friendly game. We're going to see it through the end. Plus, I'm really curious to hear the rest of your questions. So
Yes. All right.
I will
so,
save my bragging for later.
Yes, please do.
All right. You ready for number 7?
Yes.
Chris, how old is Gabe Newell? Is he A, 45, B, 50, C, 55, or D, 60?
Man, it is hard to get a gauge on what Gabe Newell's age is, because he just looks terrible.
Yeah. This, by the way, this is the question that I thought was really unfair, and I was going to take it off. And I thought, no, it's not that bad. But now I think it's kind of unfair.
Oh man, this is rough. Whew. Valve was created like 20 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My God. I'm in my head. I can't stop seeing 55. So I'm gonna go with 55.
Can't stop.
The glass just shatters into place.
Well, you are correct.
Yes!
Gabe Newell is 55 years young.
Yep, doesn't look a day over 80.
All right, moving on.
Alright, Justin. The following Legend of Zelda enemies have appeared in both the original NES Legend of Zelda and the newest title, Breath of the Wild, except for A. Lionel, B. Octorok, C. Bokoblin, or D. Moblin. So, what I'm saying is, those 4 enemies, 3 of them have appeared in both the original NES Legend of Zelda and Breath of the Wild. The 4th one has not appeared in both games.
I am pretty confident in saying that the answer is C, Bokoblin, because Bokoblins are new enemies that were introduced in Breath of the Wild.
Well, you're right in that, yes, C is Bokoblin. Yes, that's the correct answer. But, Justin, I adjust my glasses. Bokoblins were introduced in The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. They were not introduced in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that's right.
Lionels were reintroduced in Breath of the Wild, but they last made their appearance in the franchise in the original NES version. They were the little horse centaur guys that would throw swords at you, and they were impossible to kill.
That's right. That's right.
Not literally impossible, but they were very, very difficult to kill.
I forgot Bokoblins were in Wind Waker.
Yep. Yeah, that was their debut. Yeah, so
All
good
right.
job. Good job.
Good question.
Got it right.
Good question.
So proud of you. I'm a little boy.
All right, Chris.
All right.
It's your final question.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should have a little bit of fun with this one.
All right.
Which country is to blame for that wretched Donkey Kong Country TV show? Is it A, Japan, B, England, C, Canada, or D, the USA?
Let's see. I don't think it's England.
Do you remember that show?
Oh, God. You asked me if I remember that show, and all I see is this horrifying CG image of Donkey Kong with the bug eyes, with that horrifying, creepy grin, and it's all I can see in my mind's eye anymore, and it's terrifying me.
And his Southern California surfer bro accent.
God, it's haunting me. I do remember that show. I remember how horrifying it was. Man, I am going... You know what? As is with most things in the world today, I'm going to blame the United States. I'm going to pin this on us.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
Well, Chris, maybe you should have consulted with South Park, because the right blame goes to Canada.
Canada? Those bastards up north gave us Donkey Kong? That
Donkey
horrible...
Kong Country Surfer Bro TV show is brought to you by French Canadians.
French Canadians! Damn you, Quebec! You'll pay for this.
I remember
man.
turning on the TV as a kid, and I just happened to see like that show on. I didn't know it existed. I was like shocked. I was like, "Oh my god, a Donkey Kong cartoon show in like 3D. This is awesome!" And I like watched the rest of that episode, and like my heart just like sank into my stomach. I was like, "What is this?"
It was one of the worst things that has happened in all time. Alright. So, Justin, your 8th question. Wrap it all up.
Take us home.
All right. This question actually came from Elena. I was consulting with her on questions to ask you, and she provided this little gem. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts 3D was released
God.
for the Nintendo 3DS in 2012. The game's subtitle starts with 3 Ds. Get it? This subtitle is A. Dark Destiny Deliverance, B. Dream Drop Distance, C. Desire Drawn Deep, or D. Destiny's Dawning Day.
The Kingdom Hearts sub-games subtitles are so bizarre that it's kind of hard to forget them. So I'm very familiar with this one, and the correct answer is B. Dream Drop Distance.
Damn! Do you know how hard I worked making those other options sound like Kingdom Hearts subtitles?
I am impressed. I'm impressed
to make
by
it
that effort you
not
put in.
not only make them sound like Kingdom Hearts subtitles, but make each 3 words start with the letter D. At some distance. And I was like, oh, yeah, these are good. Maybe these will throw them off their scent. Oh, I know this one. It's B. Just immediately. Didn't give you any pause at all.
They had that, and they also had like 352 over 3 days or something.
358 over 2.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yep. Chain of memories. Rechain of memories. Man.
All right, Chris. Let's recap here.
No, let's not.
I got 7 out of 8 correct.
Mm.
You got 1, 2, 3 out of 8 correct. And if I know anything about which number is higher than the other number, 7 is higher than 3.
7
which
is
means
definitely higher than 3.
That I am the winner of this Video Game Quiz Time Supreme Showdown, and I gain the ability to flip an indie arcade assignment right back in your face.
Yes, you do. Congratulations, Justin, the winner of our first ever Quiz Time Supreme face-off. Yeah.
And I could tell you're very bitter, so I could possibly foresee this showdown returning in the future.
Honestly, I could see it returning too. This was a lot of fun. I got my ass kicked, but I still had a lot of fun with this. I love doing these quizzes, honestly.
You know, I think I was a little bit tougher on you than you were on me, so maybe that's a little unfair, but again,
I think
still
you were
was
a lot tougher on me. You know what it was? After the last quiz I gave you, all I heard was, oh, it was too hard. It was hard. So I was like, you know what? I got to make it a little easier. But I went too far in the other direction.
It's okay. We're balancing out. You know, we're working through these things together. And, you know, each one gets better and better.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Congratulations. Use your powers wisely. You earned them. I'm mad because I have a game that I'm saving in my back pocket for just such an occasion for you, but now I can't use it because you can flip it on me.
Yeah. Ooh, I wonder when I'll use this thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. We will see.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll use it like you feel generous. Like I'll give you an awesome game, and you'll be like, you know what, Chris, you should play this game.
That is not gonna happen.
No, that's fair. If I had this power, I absolutely would not use it for that purpose. All right. Well, good job.
Great
Good
time,
quiz.
Great questions. Yep.
All right. I think it's time for us to go home.
That's gonna wrap it up for this week. Remember, Press A repeatedly posts new episodes Mondays on iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. If you like what you hear, please take a moment to rate and review the show, or tell your friends about us. It helps other people find the podcast and will really help us grow. And thank you to all who have rated, reviewed, and subscribed so far. We love you.
You can follow us on our Facebook page and Instagram at Press A Repeatedly. We're also on Twitter at Press A Repeatedly. I'm at cgold113, and Justin is at oaf7724. You can email us any questions or comments at parpodcast@gmail.com. That's all for this episode. Chris and Justin signing off. And remember, to paint the town red with the blood of violent zombies, see Press A Repeatedly.